You need a peppermint?
And no.
You sure? Because your voice is kind of scratchy.
No, I'm fine. And we're rolling.
You need a word.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good. I don't normally dress like that. I just want to.
I think you should.
Let y'all know.
It looks cute. I think you should.
We had Decades Day today at school, so I picked the 70s because I'm old.
Because I'm old. So, is there? Do you want to continue or ask a question about what I was just talking about with Dad, or do you just want to start with the other stuff?
How about let's start with the other stuff and we'll circle back around.
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk to you about music.
I like music.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you if you could pinpoint or get close to when music hit you as a thing. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If when you realize oh, I like this.
I believe I was really super young because we always had music around us. My mom was very musical. My dad liked music. Can't really say he was musical, but he enjoyed music. So I think we always had music around us. So I don't think it was ever like a conscious thing.
Yeah.
It was just always there. But when I actually knew I liked music itself, it was probably, I don't know, it was probably grade school, maybe.
Was there a time or a song or whatever to where you really understood the lyrics of a song? You know what I mean? Because even as kids, even nursery rhyme things, you're really not thinking about what you're singing or saying. It's just kind of
the melody.
Yeah.
I think now this is going to be my question, but I think
you still ask it.
I listen to things differently than most people do because I do listen to lyrics, and that's what lyrics is what I listen to in a song.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I like the melodies and the music and the music itself. But if I like a song, it's because of what the words are saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I probably learned that really early, or I listened to that really early. But I can't think of a specific song that was oh, I really like that. I can tell you a song that I sat and listened over and over and over again to because I wanted to know what the lyrics meant. And that was, and now I can't think of his name.
Steve Martin.
No, honey. I can't think of the song now that I said that.
Well, I was gonna,
but
because I was gonna make a statement about that because I feel like when you're younger, kind of, and I don't know if this is true for everybody. I do know, and I've said this on a different podcast, that there are people that don't get music at all, and I don't understand that at all. There are people that just don't listen to music or don't understand music. I don't know how to describe that.
Like they don't understand why you listen to it, like it's a waste of time or something.
Yeah.
I don't get that either.
Or people that go on road trips and don't listen to music and just drive in silence. Yeah. I don't get it. Anyway, but I was going to say that I feel like there's a shift when you're younger of that first song that really hits you, whether it's melodically or lyrically, and that becomes the genre that you chase after, if that makes sense. I feel like that informs what you take into your life as your music. You know what I mean? I feel like if someone, it's kind of like babies with the toy things,
Mm-hmm.
that the first one that you grab, your brain just goes, we like this. The first one that really like tickles your brain of like, this makes me feel a certain thing. Your brain and emotions kind of latch onto that type of music.
I would say I like the feeling. It gives you a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I think you attach to that. And I think growing up, again, I had a total mix of like one side and the other side, you know? So I kind of have a little bit bigger variety of music I listen to, but I do have more of an influential countryside, just because I think there was more genres in that I was exposed to.
So, okay, then I will ask you, then why country then? Out of anything else?
I would say because even though everyone thinks that my mother was she was very musical, let me say that, but her influence of Elvis was very big in our lives. But my dad also exposed me to a lot of different country type genres. Like we sat and listened to bluegrass music. We listened to old country. We listened to, the 40s and 50s type country, and stuff. So, I mean, I think there was more of a different type of music. How's that? Of musical instruments that I was exposed to in that area that gave me a different ear for that. That makes sense?
Yeah. So do you think that, and not to say that you weren't or undermine that you don't listen or haven't been influenced by other genres of music, but why do you think that country music is kind of like a home for you outside of any other genre of music? Besides, like, obviously, like growing up and that just being a part of it.
I think lyrically, I listen to that and I relate to it more. I can understand. It's a storyteller. It's a storyteller type of music.
Mhm.
And I like that. I'm hearing a story. I'm not just hearing, a lot of banging, or I'm not hearing the same. A
The
lot of
same thing
music,
over and over
yeah.
again.
The lot of the songs that I hear, I feel they're saying the same thing, not only over and over in that song, but over and over that I've heard in their neighbor's song. In the you know so I feel like there's a lot of different, and even though people like laugh about, country music is all about, my
Trucks,
my
beer, and
truck,
dogs.
beers and dogs, and my mama died
Yep.
at the train.
Yep.
But I think there is a lot more variety of stuff.
I would agree with that. I would. I'm going to ask you a question after I say this, but I would say that the songwriting thing is a big thing. I think, and I've had this conversation with Cheryl many times. There are artists now in country music that have that, but I would agree with you that for a while and still now there's kind of a, Ed Sheeran said it about pop music, that there's a formula to it. You can make a hit pop song. It's not hard.
Right.
There's a formula to it to where you can make it go number one and without trying or putting effort in it. And the same goes with country music. There is a formula to it to where most people do, to where you can make everybody want to listen to it or be a hit or whatever.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about this a couple weeks ago but that storyteller aspect of it changes it. It makes it more impactful. It makes it more true. The the three chords and the truth, like that part, that aspect of it, you may not get the number one song, but your lasting impact is going to be greater because it's not just a one-time deal. It's who you are. It's your experiences. I've, we were talking a couple weeks ago about the Outlaws and about how that not only spanned a whole different genre of country music, but just those who were involved in it, without who they were, without how they wrote music, without that wouldn't have happened.
And they were different. That was the thing. They were all different, but when they came together, it still was, like you said, it launched a whole different branch of music.
And I said this to you, the part specifically the part about the Outlaws is that Johnny Cash was done. Like Johnny Cash was not done career-wise, but Johnny Cash was done doing music. He was going to do the Johnny Cash show. He already had it lined up, and that was what he was going to do, and he was just going to be on TV the rest of his life. And then Waylon and Willie were like, "Hey, we're going to do this thing. Like, do you want to do this?" And then, like I said, not only springboarded all of their careers, but brought Johnny Cash back into the fact that he wanted to do this again, and he wanted to, and then going back to the storytelling thing of there's a reason why "Hurt" by Johnny Cash is still, revered and seen as like one of the best written songs and performances that ever could, because it wasn't just the lyrics of that song, it was everything Johnny Cash had gone through and his voice in singing that song. And it was not only storytelling through the lyrics of that song, but his life came through in that song. And so anyway, so I would agree with you about the country music thing, because I feel like that is something that is lost, in my opinion, not just in country music, but as a whole. That I feel like, and there are exceptions, but I feel like we got to a point that it was just fame and chasing number one that forgot about
why you do it, why you write music.
Yeah. Like Willie Nelson had released 3, 4, 5 albums before he ever got really famous. You know what I mean? Merle Haggard's the same way. Johnny Cash. But I think my personal experience is that the one time I heard that outside of country music, because that was kind of what most people turn their nose up at country music for, is that, well, they just do that whining, like, songwriting thing. That's country music. If you want to go write songs, go do country music. And the first time I ever remember, because I grew up on everything between, you guys, I grew up on every genre of music there is. And the first time I've told Cheryl the story, the first time I ever heard real, true, and there are other people that came before this, there are other meaningful songs, just my personal experience. The first time I ever heard a song that was that songwriting type that wasn't country music was Chris Cornell. And he worded a song in such a way that was metaphorical, but also a song.
You could picture it.
Yeah. That's not the song that did it. There is a different one, but the one that sticks out in my head is "Burden in the Hand," because he's talking about alcoholism, and hold on, I gotta. quench myself from water that flows from overhead. Like talking about like rain and like just the way he put it, that whole first line. But that's one of the parts where like he's talking about something, but the way he envisioned it is separate. Yeah. It was real. Like it was the first time that I was like, this is like writing. This isn't like I could really use a drink. I'm shaking, like this shit sucks, like type of songwriting. Like this is visionary, real songwriting. And it was the first time in my life that I was like, oh, this wasn't, not that I really had like genre boundaries really in my head, but it was the first time that I was like, oh, this can happen outside of this. Like it's not just secluded to like if I want to hear this type of songwriting. And you could, and like I said, you could say that in other, like you could say Nirvana was like that too, or like you could say that other bands, even I would say even some Motley Crue songs, you could say the same thing. But like I said, personally for me, like that was the first time that I was like, oh shit. Is there a time or a specific artist that really was like your, like I know that country music is, like I said, like a home for you, but like is there like
a certain particular,
or did you like, was it just all encompassing of like everything?
I think it was all encompassing because I think I have different songs. Like even today, I was driving in the car and heard this song, and I haven't heard it for a long time. It was Tracy Bird, and I don't know if you know who he is, but I haven't heard him in forever. And it was the Keeper of the Stars. And I just listened to it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I got to send this to John. This is like so, this is so us. And I just was like, oh my gosh. But then, there's like other days where I'll hear, certain, I think it's all in what it says to me in the moment. So I don't think there was any particular person. I think like I'll go back and I will say like Anne Murray was very influential to me, not just the, I Am Woman song, but I just love her songs and her and I just recently watched her story. So I didn't even know any of that stuff about her until recently, but her songs just for some reason just always, stuck out to me.
Did you ever like dive into like like personally or like backstories or like life of like any of your artists that you liked or songs that you liked or whatever?
I think
or did that come later?
I think that came later. Like the older I got, like, I got really into, Loretta Lynn. And so then I looked into her and did some research on her. Would you go please visit your dad? And so, yeah, I think that was when I was older. I don't know, I think I did a little bit when I was like in my teens, but I also did a lot of different sampling of music in my teens.
Like what?
Well, like Poison and stuff like that, those people. Foreigner.
Those babes.
Those Kiss people. I was never into Nazareth, thank you very much. That was a forced, my mother did.
It's funny.
But she thought that was a funny thing.
So do you, I've said this on other, I probably will continue to say it, so I apologize for repeating myself. Because I know I said it the last time that I talked about music on here, but so there's a connection I feel like, and me and you have talked about this, but people that like enjoy music or like feed music. Because I've said that there are people like me that are like have music constantly. Like it, like I said, people that drive in the car and don't have music on in some way, it just boggles my mind. But like I have constant music, whether I'm really listening to it or not. Like it's always playing in some form or another. And people that have that connect to songs and artists and things a lot deeper than other people.
I agree.
And have a connection with a stronger connection with music than normal people.
I think you're born with that personally, because I think that's what makes musicians. I also think musicians, as you and I believe also have a deeper connection. I think you're just born with that. You're born with that musical instinct or you're not. And even if you aren't born with that, you can still have a connection to music, but I think it's an automatic connection. And I think that's why you have to have music in your life all the time. I think that's because that's just I've always said that I think of my life as a musical. I've always said that. If some people started dancing out in the street and I had to do
it's happening.
That whatever, I would be like, this is my life. I know. Or I'd say, oh my gosh, did I die?
It's all happening.
Or did I die? I don't, one or the other. But yes.
So I don't know. And this is not why I want to do this. I want to do this because I think it would be a lot of fun. But I was talking to you about taking you on a trip, just the two of us, because I thought it'd be really fun. And I haven't done this. You have. But I was going to ask you, because of that, when you go someplace that is embedded in music, in musical history, and like things like that, like a certain spot, like if like you would go to Seattle or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or like Nashville or something.
Yeah.
Like,
the Ryman.
Do you feel the Ryman?
Yeah.
Do you feel a deeper connection? I don't like making this comparison because some would say it's semi blasphemy-ish, but when you get baptized and there's just like that clarity when you come back up, like it's not that the world is a different place, but there's just like that different feeling. In those places, do you get that because of like your connection to music, like an overwhelming of like shit, like feeling of it?
Yeah, you could ask your dad. When we went to the Ryman for the first time, and you stand on that stage, and it was just overwhelming. Like I was just like starstruck. Like I could just could think of all the people that had been on that stage, and I was just starstruck. Like, oh my gosh, I have to get off the stage. It's like I can't stand up here. And then you go, and they have, like the museum part of it too. And you go to these different things, and there's different people, like Patsy Cline, and they have her stuff, and you're reading, and you're standing there, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like she actually wore, people like that. Patsy Cline is, one of my huge idols, and all those people, and I think the same thing at the Hall of Fame.
Kind of.
But not as much. The Ryman was kind of, the Ryman's in a church. First of all, it was a church, and you kind of get that holy feeling or whatever there, and reverence of everything. So yes, I feel I do. I think I'm a little more critical outside when you go down, down the strip, and you're listening, and you can hear anybody. I mean, there is always music in you can go for breakfast and someone's playing, and I think I tend to get a little bit more critical
Of that.
of them
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, you know where you are,
Mm-hmm.
and you shouldn't be off pitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your guitar should be in tune.
If you're gonna be in front of this building, you should be
right.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in here, do you know the people that have played in here?
Mm-hmm.
And I do tend to get like that sometimes, especially after a few beers. But you know, I do tend to get like that sometimes. But then I'm also in awe
Mm-hmm.
of half the people that are playing. That like you're playing for tips,
Mm-hmm.
and you're this freaking awesome, you know. And then then you hear things like, I don't know, things like Elvis Presley, and I know he's not deep country, but he's still country.
Mm-hmm.
But he was 22 years old when he bought Graceland.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear about things like that, and it's like, oh my gosh, but here's this 22-year-old kid, and he sounds familiar, or he sounds fabulous, but
he's still right here.
He's still right here. Yeah, So yeah, I think it's a little bit more special, I think, than going up here to Anduzzi's and
hearing a band that I didn't know that this didn't happen to people outside of church. And if you can think of an example, I'll ask, you can tell me, but that when and I don't know if this happens with everybody, but when you're in church and you're singing a song, for the most part, there's a song where, like, as you're singing it, you feel it, and like you can call it whatever you want, the Holy Spirit moving through you or whatever. That part really doesn't matter, but you can feel like the whole.
It kind of does, but no, go ahead.
For the point, it doesn't really matter what you call it, but it happens with everybody where you get a whole body of, like, and some people cry and some people like, and I've had that with music. I've had that inside of church, but I've had that with music outside of church that isn't like Christian God music too. And I've told some people about it, and they've been like, yeah, that's never happened to me. And so I would, if you have an example of that, but I would push to think that people that have a connection or have a musical brain or are musicians in their own whatever soul, headspace, whatever you want to call it, that those are the people that are connected in that way to where they feel those things.
That would get like that?
Yeah, that would feel those things. That would be able to really, like, that would get the, like, fall down, break down in tears over a way that a lyric is sung or whatever.
I've had that happen when we went to the writer's room. When we went there the first time or a second time, and this was like she was just writing, and they go and they sing their songs and they hope that somebody hears them, and she was so phenomenal. I got chills, first of all, and when people say, "Oh my gosh, I just got chills," a lot of people are like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." But if you actually get them, you know what that means, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, it's so in awe. This is fabulous. Sounds fabulous." I've had that happen, and I do think that I think it's just how your body reacts to music too. You know what I mean? If you can, and I would say in the opposite, because I also have had it where somebody has had it, that it was so off that I'm just
that
like,
it hurt you?
Yes, that it's like I can't listen to this anymore. I need to go because this is like literally hurting my ears.
But I would think, in just my opinion, but I would think that it's stronger for people that are musically in tune or whatever. Like, some people, like you said, some people can listen to, like, a bad song and be like, "Oh, that sucked. I don't really want to listen to that."
But then there's other people.
But then there's other people that feel, that like it feels bad. Like,
yes, exactly.
So is there a time you can remember the good feeling of like listening to a song and it like really hitting your soul or you to the point where you broke down crying or got emotional or whatever?
Yeah.
Outside of when it was meant to do that? Like obviously you did it at like your wedding. When like
Oh yeah. No,
but I mean like outside of like where it was meant to make you cry.
Oh.
Like when you were just like listening to a song and it just affected you that way.
Yeah. The song Daddy's Hands, have you ever listened to that?
Yep.
Makes me cry every time. Every time I hear it. And every time I think if I can imagine a music video from the song, and not the music video, but a music video, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
And I can envision that, and I envision my dad every time, it makes me cry. I would say the other song, and it really hits me now, but it used to hit me too, is how can I help you say goodbye?
Mhm.
And that song always got me too. I like songs when you kids are now grown up, and it makes me, so it's more, it's things that relate to me. So
there uh, it's hard for me to explain because it's not constant. Like there are songs that like I think, and there are exceptions, and I'll get to those, but I think the first time you hear a song is probably the most genuine reaction you're ever going to get to it.
Oh, I agree.
And some people chase that reaction. That's why they keep listening to it, and that's why they
Like,
kind
this
of
song should make me feel this way.
yeah, they kind of chase that like, well, it made me feel this way. Why isn't it making me feel this way again? What?
When did you cut your hair?
Oh, I cut my hair a couple months ago.
I'm sorry. I just noticed. I'm sorry about the podcast. I just
Anyway.
noticed.
But like, so because there have been many times where like I've heard a song and it's like really, also knowing it's circumstantial, but it's really like affected me to the point where like I was crying and like I was like full body like felt it or whatever. And it doesn't, there's those same songs don't really do that anymore or whatever. But also to counteract what I just said, that also I feel like there are songs that your reactions change depending on like
Where you are in life.
Like I remember listening to Dixie Chicks with You when I was younger. I remember that. And it didn't really like, it doesn't, at least as far as I can remember, it didn't really like affect me. They were just fun songs, like all of them. And then when me and you talked about Landslide, I remember feeling like that's it. Like I remember like there's no other option. Like that is the song. And then so I picked that song when I got married for our dance song. And that song, I mean, you can speak on this too, but that song hit different in that moment than it did even at the thought of using it in that moment, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it sounded like a good idea because lyrically, like, it made sense. And I mean, we had always listened to that song and a lot of other things, but like, so it just made sense of like, yeah. But like in that moment when we were dancing to it and like I was singing it to you while we were like, it made me feel a different way than it did any other time I heard it.
I would agree. I would say the same for me. Now it's kind of like every time I hear it, that's the song. So, you know,
Sorry,
all the other,
I ruined that for
you
you.
ruined my Black Panther party. No, it's just different. I mean, the song was always about, you know, you and growing, and you guys growing up and all that. But it hits different now, because now it's kind of like that's our song, and that sounds weird. It's our song, but you know, but it is. And so I think you're right. When you have a song and you pick it for something, you're just like, oh yeah, that's kind of good. But then when it, you know, when you're in that moment, it's like, hey, this, you know, and you're actually listening to it. That's the problem that I feel, is that a lot of people don't actually listen to what the song is saying. A lot of people listen to what the music is saying,
or the chorus,
or the chorus, or a little bit of it, and they like the tune, and they don't really listen to, you know, the song itself.
Is there a song that has kind of like that has changed over time for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Let me think.
Or gotten deeper?
I think there's a lot of songs that have changed. Like I listen to, well, I would say, like, you know, because we've had 3 wedding things now, and I would say that probably we've had 3 different songs with them, with that, and I think they've all kind of changed, because like our first wedding song, I was like, you know, that's like the song. But I look at it now and I'm like, you know, yeah, it worked for us back then, but it's not really, doesn't really work for us right now. And then I think about, you know, You're Still the One, and that I believe still holds true. But then I also think of I Got You, Babe. And I didn't think that back then. I liked the song. It was a good song. It fit whatever. But now I think that kind of really.
That was a looking into the future song, looking back on it.
Yeah, I think so. Any comments over there?
Do you have any questions for me?
I do.
No,
I do. So when you so we've kind of established, when you hear a song for the very first time, when you hear a song, what is the first thing that you pull out of the song? Is it the lyrics or is it the music? What's the first thing that hits you? Or is it depend on the song?
Depends on the song.
Depends
For
on the
sure.
song.
There's and it's different. I was saying the same thing. It depends on the song, and it depends on who's doing the song. There are 3 to 4 different famous versions of Hurt. Johnny Cash's voice, the way he sings it, the hurt in his voice when he sings it, hands down. It's not going to be any better than that because of that. So that's just an example that, like, sometimes the song itself isn't that, it's who's singing it. There's a song, it's such a cliche now that it's like a big famous song. But there's a song called Heartfelt Hallelujah. And it's like it's a big song now for like Christian people.
Okay.
But before, this guy named Brandon Lake did the song by himself. And he kind of has that country feel to his voice. But it was just him, and it's kind of a slower song. And he had like this raspiness to his voice when he would sing it. Almost like when like you get close to crying and like you have like that rasping, like when you're trying to sing. And I remember listening to that, and that, like, not really, like, it hit me, but not hard. That makes sense. And I was like, oh, this is a good song. And the lyrics to the song are really good too. And then Jelly Roll did a feature on it. They did the same exact song. It's the exact same way it was written originally, but they break it up. to where Brandon does it in the beginning and then Jelly Roll does it, and then they have the choir on the back end for the build up for the end. And Brandon's voice still has that crack in it, and then Jelly Roll's voice has like, you can hear it, like the moment that he does the hallelujah, it's like everything in his soul is being pushed out of his voice and then some. And like you could just talking about it right now, but no, I'm serious. But like, but the first time hearing that, like it was, and then once he does his thing, they do into the choir, and it's like a big, so it's like a big buildup. And the first time I heard that, like I was driving, I had to stop driving because it was like I couldn't stop because it was just like all of that. So it depends. Like I said, I don't think like stuff like that. I can tell, and I would like to say that there are certain people that can tell the difference because you can fake people on music. But when I can tell emotionally that like you're feeling it, that's the stuff that gets me. Like I told, internet's probably going to be exhausted with me telling this story because I've told it on the last 3 podcasts now. But like there's the VMA performance for Ozzy. One of the things besides the whole thing, and I explained it on other podcasts, but besides the whole thing, one of the things that really got me and really broke me in that moment was Steven Tyler's break in his voice, and then immediately Youngblood's voice that sounded identical to Ozzy, and it was like the timing of that, and also hearing that is what got me. It wasn't the song, really. I mean, the song.
It was the voice that you were hearing that was coming through.
But also, like I said, with it depending too, but also on the other end, there are guitar and piano intros that the moment nobody's singing, the moment that I hear it, it like I start, yeah. So I would say that it depends, and it also depends on the genre too.
True.
For me, I mean, there are heavy rock songs that have, made me feel some kind of way or things like that. So I don't know. I feel I've said that there's something. People are going to disagree with this, but anybody can be a musician.
Anybody can play notes.
Anybody can pick up a guitar, get a YouTube fucking tutorial, and learn how to play guitar. Anybody can do that. But there's a difference in people that are meant to write songs, meant to sing songs, meant to sing specific songs. You are put in the world for that purpose. And I think when you stumble upon that, it's hard to deny that that's the case. Like I've said this for many years. It boggles my mind, and I could drive myself crazy thinking about it, and I have ad nauseum. But thinking about what the world would look like if Elvis, Chris Cornell, Nirvana, like people like that never existed. Or if we, you know what I mean? Like if we never got Black Hole Sun, if we never got Blue Suede Shoes, if we never got Walking in Memphis, if we never got these things, if those people were just like, nah, like, yeah, Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
And I say that especially about, I've said it for years, especially about people like Chris Cornell and Kurt Cobain, and like, because it would have been easy for them to not listen to people. You know what I mean? Like they were in the same way as, they're pioneers for the blues before the blues was a thing. They're pioneers for country before it became like country.
Right.
Like those two were pioneers in a genre that didn't exist yet, like popularity wise. You know what I mean? So it would have been really easy for somebody, for like a record executive or whatever, to be like, this won't sell. There's no way
And
this is
they
going to
would have
happen.
said,
And then be
"Oh,
like,
okay."
oh yeah, you're right, because this doesn't exist yet,
Well,
and you wouldn't get any of that.
well, look
The
at
same as I would make the same argument for Dolly.
I was just going to say all the women.
Yeah.
I would say all of the great country women. Look at all that they had. That well, first of all, you're a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and second of all, well,
if you're not singing about cleaning and cooking, then you don't know what you're doing.
Right. And then, oh my gosh, Loretta, you have 5 kids. How in the hell are you going to be out here?
Patty.
And Patsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Patsy Cline. Well, that's what we're going to do. I mean, you look at, these women that, and you also have to say, look at the husbands they had too. I mean, yes, did they have problems? Yes. But back then, what men would stand behind their women and be like the shadow? You know what I mean? That it's just as well known as they got to be, it's miracles that they got that far. I mean,
but that was the point I was making, is that like there are people that I believe are meant to. It's a gift that I feel like needs to be shared. And I feel like on one hand I could say, what would the world be if this never happened or whatever. But then romanticizing it, or idealistically, I could say it was always going to happen. It was always going to
I believe that.
Be here.
I believe there's certain people, like you said, that are put on this earth for certain things. And as far as, like you said, Dolly, I don't think that would have been something that she would have not. I mean, maybe not to the caliber she's at right now, maybe, but I think she always would have been out there, singing and been her. Yeah. Yeah. She's.
But also, it's also, I would say that there are things that prove that too. Going and using what I said before as a reference of like the formula for making a hit song isn't that hard in any genre.
Right.
But I think that you kind of see the people that are meant to do this when they are able to do other things.
Yeah.
I would say Kenny Loggins, the what's it called, the live album. What's it called? From the Redwoods. That shows in the old video of Elvis planning his stage show, like just being seeing somebody hear something out of nothing. You know what I mean? Like that is, I would encourage anybody who hasn't listened to the Kenny Loggins live album to listen to it anyway, because you can hear it in every song he plays, that it's not just him playing his songs, it's him curating and hearing something that isn't there yet
and reinventing it all.
You know what I mean? And the same with Elvis. There are videos and recordings of him like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start here, and we're gonna start here, then we're gonna do this.
They can envision what they want the music to sound like.
And like I said, I think people like that are always going to be heard. Whether it's on a main stage, big like multi-million
But
dollar, but
somebody would have heard
because it needs to be heard.
Right.
Is the point, and
Yep.
that's one thing I love about music in general, and I've loved forever, is that like we've said, different circumstances, different genres, different way you move through life, things change. That it's just always baffled, is not the intrigued me, of like somebody can write something so personal to them and what they're feeling and what they're going through. So personal to them, not thinking about the rest of it, not thinking about
just writing
me in Wisconsin.
Yep.
And it can reach in a way of like, I needed to hear that in this time at this place right now.
Yeah.
And you wrote it, like, even it's even happened to me with, like, obviously, like, older songs of like, you wrote this 50, 60 years ago.
And it's relating to me now.
Anyway, that was what.
I had 2 questions and now I forgot them all.
Well, you remember them.
Oh, okay. So have you ever had a song that you love? Like you could listen to it like 20 times in a row. And then you hear it by a different artist and you're just like, you just really freaking ruined my song.
I don't like it. Yeah. I don't know. Because covers are like that. And that's really weird for me, because there are some covers that I feel like are a lot better. There's some people that cover songs that it makes it a lot better than the original. But I don't know. I feel like there are artists that try to do songs to emulate other people that I'm like, man, you missed the mark.
I know. I can't even think of the name of the song right now. I just totally smacked your thing here. I don't know. I can't think of the name of the song, but it happened to me also today. And it was a song that I love. And they slowed it down. It wasn't so much the person who was singing it, but they slowed the song down and they kind of did a little mix on the, on it. And I was just like, ooh, that is so dumb.
I'm very partial. So if I hear a version of a song that I don't like, I never listen to it again.
Right. Well,
so like,
that will not happen. Well, I was on the radio, so.
So I just don't. Anyway, but there are versions of songs that are different, but I feel like are still, I don't know, equally as good is probably the wrong thing, but at least on level.
Yeah.
To where I'm not like, ugh.
Yeah.
One example, or two, I'll give you 2 examples. One example is Nothing Compares. Sinead O'Connor.
Yes.
I know what the rest of the song is.
To
her
me.
So
Nothing compares to me.
her version of the song is iconic because it is the song.
Yeah.
Right. But then, I'll tag on to that. But then I think of that Prince wrote it. So Prince's envisions of what that song with his voice, because you write,
in your voice.
Your voice. So thinking about like how different that would have sounded with his voice to his voice, or even different melodies that like he would have done for himself. But then Sinead O'Connor, but then Chris Cornell did a version of it too, which, like I said, they're all equal in their own right.
Right.
It's just different.
Yeah.
And there's Chris Cornell also does a version of Imagine. John Lennon. And those two too. Like obviously John Lennon's version is always gonna be like the most iconic version of that song. But Chris Cornell's version of that, he doesn't just sing it word for word. He kind of changes to his voice and to his like way he sings,
Mm-hmm.
and it's equally as good.
Right.
But to answer your question, that kind of goes both ways. I've heard
Right.
shitty versions of songs. I don't like. For the most part, I don't like when people redo songs unless it gets better, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
What was your other question?
I can't remember now. Sorry.
What were you just gonna say?
I was just now going to say, I think that a lot of creativity are gone. There's less creativity these days in everything, not just music, but like all of the remakes of movies and just in general. I think people are just kind of taking the easy way
I agree
of
with
stuff. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, and I've said this that this blows my mind, and this is partially why music is like a big thing and why I love it so much, because with movies, the fact that we've ran out of ideas, and not like fully, like obviously there's movies that are still being made that are like original and have like original concepts or whatever, but for the most part, like but music has been around for literal thousands of years.
Right.
And we're still finding different ways to say the same story. Is ridiculous to me. That music is just one of those things that can keep going even when like you said, even when like movie ideas are gone.
Yeah.
You can still keep saying the same thing with music in different genres and different ways with different words and different metaphors and keep going.
And you can still be given the same types of feeling to people with the music. Yes, I agree. I'm still waiting for my musical, but other than that, I'm waiting for one of my grandchildren now because, my children never did it. But I'm waiting for one of my grandchildren to have some musical proposal or something, or
I did, for what it's worth.
Well,
it just wasn't
no,
like
you
that.
proposed in a musical genre. You didn't do it musically.
It was musically driven.
Okay. Okay, wait. Now I just thought of my question that I forgot before. Have you ever regretted not doing more with your music? Or pursuing it more?
Regret it? No. No, I don't regret it really. I regret not taking advantage of it when I had it. I don't regret like not like trying to start a band and all that stuff. I don't regret that. I regret the fact that when I had the money to buy my own drum set, I didn't. So now I don't have one. I regret not spending more time playing in the church than I did. Not even practicing, just feeling.
Playing, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like one of the, and I was going to say this before, but like when we were talking about the connection to music, like that was one of my favorite things about playing the drums was that I could control the emotion, like, you know what I mean, of the song. And that because I primarily play from feeling and not, I don't know, music.
By note.
Like, yeah, like that. I play primarily by feeling. When I would play songs, I would be submerged into that to where I would be able to feel that come through me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And not doing that more, I think I wasted that time that I had to do that. So whereas like obviously right now, like I could go buy a drum set and play drums. And
Mhm.
I could go get a drum set right now and be super happy that I'm playing drums again. But I don't know, it's just one of those things that's always a part of me, but I don't really regret not trying to be a superstar at it. I think
Okay.
once I learned, I've said this, and it's something that annoys my dad, but I've said this that there's a part of me that is kind of, and I do it with a lot of things. That's kind of just like I'm good enough. Like I'll do something until like I'm mediocre at it, and I'm like, oh, that was fun. I'm mediocre at it now, so I'm like
Now it's
mediocre.
something else.
So I'm like mediocre at like a shit ton of things.
Yeah.
Like not good enough to go pro, but also not like beginner.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I did with drumming. But I think when I figured out, and I've never told this story, I think the moment that I figured out that I could do it by feeling it more so than reading it, I was like, I can do this forever.
Mhm.
Like there was a moment when Dad was taking me to the drum lessons or whatever,
Mhm.
and they had the music thing.
The sheet notes.
Yeah, the sheet notes, and he was like, play this or whatever, and it was one page, and I was really like focusing on like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then because it was boring and repetitive, when we got to like the third page, I was focusing more on how my hand felt hitting it than what I was reading.
Mhm.
And so then I memorized that instead of what I was reading. And so the next time that we went, he was like, okay, we'll try this again. And I was like, because I had memorized how my hand felt when it hit it, that I didn't have to read that.
Mhm.
And so it was all feeling. And I think once I learned to do that is when it clicked in my head of like, I could do this whenever I want. Like I don't have to do this as a career. I don't have to do this as like a life thing. Like I today could pick up and feel what it might not sound the greatest, but being able to play through feeling was one of those things that I was like, oh, okay, so this is I can do this forever.
Wow.
So no, I don't regret it. I regret not there are times that I regret being so busy and not having time to do anything with it.
Mhm.
Like I bought electric I bought an electric drum kit,
Mhm. Mhm.
which was the same price as a regular one, so I don't even know what I know what it was. I justified it in my head of like I can I can do the volume or whatever because that was right when we had right before Wyatt was born. So in my head, I was like, and we lived in an apartment, a duplex. So if I got a real drum set, I couldn't put it anywhere because I could never play it.
Right.
Because there were other people living there.
Mhm.
And so my thought process was like I could create the volume or whatever, but it's not the same. And then because of that, like you can't really do a whole lot, and we didn't have a whole lot of space, so I haven't played it, and it's at the house. I still haven't played it because of like just everything going on. And then when I have the ambition to do it, it's late at night when everybody's like sleeping or whatever.
Mhm.
So like those are the things that like I wish were different, but
Hmm.
I get to listen to music all day, every day. So.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I'm here all night.
Are you?
Try the deal.
No.
Oh.
But I got time. So, you got any other questions?
Mm, what would be if you had to pick one song to listen to for the rest of your life? What song would that be?
Do you have an answer for this?
Do I?
Yeah. Do you have an answer for this?
No.
I do. Oh, you're not talking to me.
I'm not talking to you.
Sorry.
I don't know. That's hard. There's somebody asked this question in a different way. somebody at an interview asked if you had to listen to one album, if you were abandoned on a desert island or whatever,
And you had one album.
one album for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I don't know, because like the same as the same as I just thought of when you said that, like there are songs that like even now I listen to all the time and I never get tired of them. But then I think like 20 years down the road, having to hear it every single, like every day, every morning, like I don't know. And my musical taste is so vast that I don't know. I think I probably would turn into one of those people that just don't listen to music. Because
Well,
I don't know. I don't. There's a lot of songs that I could probably listen to for a long period of time, but forever, I don't know. I don't know if there's any I could think of right now. There's a is there a song or music video that for you were older as far as music videos go, but a song or music video that is iconic in your head of like, I remember where I was, like the day I saw this, like this is probably like the best thing I've seen, like something.
no, I wouldn't say like an actual video. Well, I would say, no, 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 no. You know, this one. What is that? You know, the
Thriller?
Thriller.
Yeah.
I think Thriller was pretty, yeah, that was like really cool because it was like we had never seen anything like that before. But I would even say just the MTV, you know, that advertisement or whatever, you know, that whole thing.
Did you that's a good question. Did you recognize that in the moment? Like how like big that is?
How big that was going to be?
How big it was at the time, because like there wasn't really like
No.
there wasn't really music videos, not like that. Like you had maybe like a performance or whatever on like a talk show or whatever, but there wasn't like
videos where you knew.
Yeah. So did you like recognize that like in the moment of like?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it was not that I recognized like how big that was. I think it was just kind of like, oh, well, this is what we're doing now, kind of you know what I mean? Until you look back on it, and then it's like, whoa, like now when MTV has everything but music videos on it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
because I would say, and I know that like a lot of people have these answers, but for me, I would say that still to this day, with all the music videos that I've seen, I still think that Remember the Time and Black and White, both Michael Jackson.
yeah.
But I think those
yeah.
two are still, and obviously like the Thriller one too, like that goes all generations.
Right.
But those two, Black and White, Remember the Time, were just so like, even to this day, I watch those music videos and I'm like, there is nothing like this that's being done.
The other one that was like that was, oh my gosh, who
But
is
also,
it?
that's a once in a lifetime talent. Going back to my point,
Exactly. Like, what if you wouldn't have? Yeah.
Is that there's never going to be another person that can put all of that together. Like, it's not just the music, it's not just the music video. It's him and his dancing and the production of the show, and like.
And if you've ever seen as you were talking about, like documentaries of putting a show together, if you've ever seen the one on him when he was putting his last show together, that man was everywhere. I mean, he was in every single part of it, you know, and he would be like, nope, 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 no, we need to add this. And, you know, the whole production. Yeah, again, an iconic person that we will never have another one of.
But I look at like there's a few here and there that I've seen over the years that have like kind of gone down that like cinematic music video thing. But every time I watch those two music videos, I'm just like, this is just not only for the time, but even now stands up, like holds up. Like all you would have to do is do one of the like touch up app things to make it look more vibrant.
Yeah.
Now, but it still holds up to any music. Those two still hold up to any music video that's ever been done, in my opinion.
Well, you can say that with all kinds of music, though. I mean, you can say that, with,
And the song,
there's
song itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can say that, with the words and every. Hello. Okay. You can say that with all of it. So yeah.
Thanks for talking.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Any last comments? Words?
I don't know. It's nice to be able to talk to you about music. I haven't talked to you in ages about music.
In ages.
In ages.
Nice talking to you. I was not to. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna come out, but I was when I messaged you, I was thinking about that. I don't know how to word that. There's so many things that like I've shared with you that like we don't really talk about because it's not like you remember this or whatever. But I was just thinking, like last month before I messaged you, I was like, it would be so cool to go to Nashville and like see that through you, if that makes sense. That'd be so cool, like for me, because like I was thinking about like I know like that what that would mean for me. Like I know how much fun that would be for me, and like I could just go, that'd be fine. But then like I was just sitting there and I was like, it would be so cool to like, oh, you remember this? Like, oh, what about this? Oh, like this is really cool. Like even what you were talking about, like not that I'm pushing this, but even like what you were talking about the rhyming. Like being able to like go there with you and be like, we were here, like just that.
It's a very cool. It's a very cool experience. For the first, not even for more than because I've been there 4 times now. But for the first, I still can think back on the first time going there, and you still have a different feeling than the 4th time you've been there. It's not any less necessarily, but it's just so different. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just something you have to experience.
So I'm gonna do that.
When are we doing that?
Sometime this year. I'm projecting May. I was gonna see if I could make it happen for my birthday. We could go 3 days for that weekend.
Oh, that would be fun.
But that's what
you're
shooting
for?
Yeah.
And
then Dad's will be next year.
What's Dad's going to be?
Me and him are going to New Orleans.
Nuh-uh. No, I'm just kidding. Because you're going to go and you're going to listen to the blues.
Yep.
Well, that is pretty cool.
I'm going to go to the House of Blues in New Orleans. See, I thought about that, but I figured it'd be more fun.
Probably will be more fun.
Hey,
we could eat crawfish.
Can I jump in?
Oh, yeah.
You were talking about a song that really sticks in your head, and there's a lot of them for me. A lot of them stupid. What's her name? Taylor Swift songs that relate to your mom and I. But the one song that I always think about after a football game, there's a lot of times that I was by myself at my dad's Ford Super Cab pickup, and Bluegrass was about 6 miles west of where Davenport West is. And one night, and it went to a T section. and then you go to bluegrass. One night I drove all the way to the T section, turned around, and as I turned around, I was like, I wonder how fast I could get this up. And I punched it to the floor, and the song that came on the radio,
I can't drive 55.
no, Molly Hatchet. I'm traveling down the road and I'm flirting with disaster.
That's a good call.
And I think I got it up to about 110.
Wait a minute.
And then I went, okay, that was good.
You drove all the way out
You know
to bluegrass to the T section and then turned around?
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody was there.
Yeah, because nobody's out there.
I'm wondering why you drove all the way out there in the first place. That's my question.
I was going to try to see how fast I could.
So-
Oh, okay.
So there's I'll tie you in. So there's a thing. I told Tiffany this, and it's not really like for other people, which is kind of what I told you when we were in Davenport with Grandma. Is that it's just little things. But it was so funny to me when we were at the dinner, like with Marv and everybody, because like everybody's leaving and everybody's doing the whole like, oh, love you, bye, I'll see you later, you know, blah, blah, whatever. And Tiffany was like, here, hold Jasmine while I go say goodbye to everybody or whatever. So it was just me and Jasmine like in the corner. Like, everybody was over here, and I'm like holding her and like trying to make her smile or whatever. And Guitars and Cadillacs came on the thing. And so I was sitting there and I was singing it to her. And like she was just looking at me singing it to her. And I like turned her because I was like bouncing her in like a circle. And I like turned around and I like looked over and Tiffany's like looking at me. And I was like, what? And she's like, it's cute. I was like, yeah, it's Guitars and Cadillacs.
Duh.
And she took a video of it, but it was just one of those things that like, I don't know, it's just weird the things.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the song things.
And you will always think of that
It's weird.
with Jasmine.
Yeah.
So
Whether she remembers it or not.
well, I would not count on her remembering it. Don't be sad if she doesn't. But you can just tell her every time you see her, and then she will, because then she'll think it's an actual memory.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope I wasn't too boring.
You're not boring.
Oh, okay.
Never boring. I do want to do more of these. I think it'll be fun.
I think it'd be a great time.
I like talking to you.
Oh, I like talking to you.
I told not to make you emotional.
You're trying to make me emotional. That's why you keep talking.
But I told Cheryl when we went home after she did like her photo shoot or whatever, me and you were talking. I told her, I was like, I really miss talking to my mom. It's been like a really long time. And I was like, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just I forget that until like stuff like that happens. And I'm like, that was really nice. I guess miss that.
I think we go through those times. I think I said that not too long ago when you were calling Dad every morning. And I was like, I miss that. He doesn't call me and we don't talk that much anymore. But I think we go through those times in life too, where, like we were really close, and not that we're not close now, but I mean, we would talk all the time, and that was kind of like where we were at. And then you get older and you want to, talk about Dad stuff and, so you go through, well, you do, you want to talk about Dad stuff, or you want to talk about husband stuff or whatever. And so I think you go through those things. Oh my God. So I think you kind of go through those things, but I've missed talking to you too.
So yeah, if you have any ideas or things you want to talk about, even if it's not for a podcast or whatever.
Oh my gosh. Now I'll be sending you texts all the time. Hey, what do you think of this?
Do it. It'd be fun. I told Cheryl I want to do more and be more consistent at this as a thing. So yeah, or just if you want to talk or anything, whatever.
That would be so fetch. Quit trying to make that fetch go.
It's so fetch.
You know what? That's the thing that I do miss is that every time we would like be so in sync on sending
You
those
can't
things.
sit with us.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah.
We wear pink only on Tuesdays.
Did I tell you that? I got that to be a thing at work.
You can't sit with us?
Pink on Wednesdays. I got that to be a thing.
Really?
Yeah. Because I bought the sweatshirt a while ago, probably 2 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and I just started wearing it on Wednesdays because I thought it was funny. It was just a personal thing for me.
Right,
It was
right. Just made
fun-
your day go better.
It was just it just made me laugh. And then like people started asking me about it, and like that would just be my response: is it's Wednesday. We wear pink on Wednesday.
We wear pink on Wednesday.
And then more people started wearing pink on Wednesday, and now like there's like 5 to 6 people that every Wednesday wear pink. Like I don't even have to. Like there are days I forget to wear pink.
I was going
to
to say you should come in someday and go, "What are y'all wearing pink for?"
And they still do. And they still do it. It's so funny.
What's wrong with you people?
I just think it's funny.
It is funny.
Thank
Very funny.
I love you.
I love you, honey bunnies.
Thanks for talking.
No problem. Haha. See, he never hugs you.
He never hugs you.